So the other week I had transplanted some cauliflower into the garden. And throughout the course of the last week, I had also made up the solution of rhubarb stalk and parsnip leaves and roots that I had mashed up into some water and had been using that in a dilution in a spray bottle to apply to the leaves so that animals would not consume the plants. And overall, for a while, that seemed to have been working very well. However, I noticed about a week or so later, just the other day, yesterday in fact, that certain areas had been dug out near the plants. And for a moment I wondered why this would be, right? The animals weren't actually going after the plants themselves, which was really nice, right? And it may have been courtesy of that rhubarb and parsnip deterrent that I had made. However, these animals were still trying to burrow down underneath the roots to get at some food source that must have been there, right? And then all of a sudden I realized that I had put bean seed fertilizer, right, crushed bean seeds, in the planting holes of the cauliflower when I transplanted that out in the garden. Now I kind of expected this could be a potential problem. Before the crushed bean seeds would decompose adequately, they would be sought after by a lot of animals as a energy and protein source. So I want to head out there right now and kind of show you what I'm looking at and what I'm doing to remedy the situation. So what I like to use to deter herbivores is the cayenne pepper powder, and I'll just sprinkle it around the base of the plants to keep them from digging up the bean seed fertilizer, which is underneath. And it can also give some additional protection to the cauliflower plants as well. Although it doesn't seem that they've really needed it, it's just the bean seed fertilizer underneath that they seem to be really going after right now. So here we can see a cauliflower plant, and you can see the grass mulch and the dirt around it has been kind of dug out a little bit towards the base. Right, and last night I did kind of recover it, so the hole that the animal made, I think it was this one, I just kind of recovered it a little bit. And it also looks a little reddish there because that is where I applied the cayenne pepper powder, so last night. But it was too dark to really record it and film it, so I'm talking about it now. So it seemed like the rhubarb stalk and the parsnip leaves and root solution that I made seemed to be effective against animals eating the plants. And it may not have been enough of a deterrent to keep the animals out of the entire area. Maybe it just protected the plants from direct consumption. Right, I wasn't necessarily applying the solution to the soil, not directly or intentionally, but the plant was really my main focus. So I figured that the animals are probably pretty determined to get at the bean seed fertilizer, so I figured I might have to up the ante a little bit and use something a little stronger, right, at least around the surface of the soil. So that's where I put the cayenne pepper powder, and that should effectively deter the most rodents, herbivorous rodents, and such as mice, voles, chipmunks, and rabbits. So I think those are pretty much the main ones around here, and so hopefully this will do the trick. I have used cayenne pepper in the past on plants, and I've had success with it in the past. So this cayenne pepper is one tool that I have and that I have used for a few years. Alright, so I just take some cayenne pepper here, and I just carefully use a little bit. I already kind of scattered some last night, as you can tell by the red color there, but yeah, a little bit goes a long way. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video on using cayenne pepper with its capsaicin content to help deter herbivores from certain areas of the garden where you might not want them to dig. and additionally this can also be used as a foliar deterrent as well. Now, side note, I do not recommend using mustard seed powder as a deterrent, especially if you were going to apply it to the leaf surface. Otherwise, this can happen. So this is why we don't use powdered mustard seed as a deterrent for herbivores. Apparently, the mustard seed contains some compounds that can do some pretty serious damage and can chemically burn the leaves of the plant. And we have some squash plants here as well that kind of caught the excess. So if you're going to use any spices as deterrents for herbivores, I'd stick to the cayenne pepper. Personally, I'd stick with the cayenne pepper or some other type of hot pepper type solution, and I would stay away from the mustard seed powder. So thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.